Making headlines tonight. Phnom Penh governor has prepared a proposal to the COVID-19 Commission Committee to reopen KTVs, karaoke bars, nightclubs, and other entertainment clubs. A Cambodian man overcomes difficulties and pursued his love for planes by inventing his own radio-controlled aircraft. Study shows that one of the world's rarest bird species, condors, were found to be capable of reproducing without mating. This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Yuri Matosko. Phnom Penh Capital Administration is taking a move to reopen KTV, karaoke bars, and other entertainment. Phnom Penh Governor Kun Sren is now preparing a proposal to COVID-19 Commission Committee to consider reopening these establishments amid the country's full reopening status as announced by Prime Minister Hun Sen on Monday, starting the 1st of November. Governor Sren has confirmed to EAC News the progress. He says he's doing his best to help unaffected businesses, but at the same time ensuring the safety of the people against COVID-19.
យើងមានចង់បាត់ធ្វើអីឲ្យតែអត់ឆ្លងហើយយើងកំពុងតែរៀបចំសូមទៅគណៈកម្មការបប្រតិបត្តិដើម្បីប្រជុំភាគនឹងកំណត់លើបញ្ហានេះក្រោយថ្ងៃ11ក្រោយថ្ងៃ11មានការផ្លាស់ប្ដូរបញ្ហានេះបាទអាចមានការផ្លាស់ប្ដូរតាមកំណត់ទេបាទខ្ញុំមិនហ៊ានកំណត់ថាបើតែនៅលើគណៈកម្មការនៃការវិនិច្ឆ័យរបស់គណៈកម្មការជំនួយCOVID-19 ដើម្បីយើងប្រជុំពិភាក្សាបញ្ហានេះហើយបែរតម្លៃឲ្យបានត្រឹមត្រូវទៅជាហ៊ានបានការងារនេះព្រោះប្រហែល discotheque ហើយនឹង karaoke វាជាកន្លែងសบายភាពតែវាទទួលហានិភ័យខ្ពស់បាទវាងាយរងគ្រោះអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវប្រុងប្រយ័ត្នហ្នឹង
High-risk businesses in the capital have been closed for 8 months now since the February 20 community transmission outbreak. The vaccination campaign of 5-year-old children has kicked off on Monday as a way of speed up the return of school for primary students. The interval between the first and second doses is 28 days, with the Chinese Sinovac as the vaccine administered for this age group. EAC News hit the street today to see how children and their parents responded to the vaccination campaign.
Not scared at all. These are the reactions of parents, guardians, and even the very young children about the vaccination campaign against COVID-19. Prime Minister Hun Sen has announced on Monday that the kingdom is providing COVID-19 vaccines to the children 5 years old. This is part of the royal government's target to create a herd immunity in the community, as all the sectors in the country are already reopened following the Prime Minister's announcement on the 1st of November.
I'm not scared because I want to go back to school.
I'm not nervous because I want to go back to school as soon as possible.
I want my grandson to go to school.
I'm a little nervous.
To protect them from COVID-19 disease and for them to go back to school.
No hesitation being showed by them. They all want to live the new normal way of life, which is living with COVID-19.
Cambodia's Angkor Wat is getting more famous. It has landed in first place among the 29 best places to visit in Southeast Asia. It was released by Touropia travel guides in the middle of the year, with Sihanoukville and Phnom Penh also taking spots in the survey. EAC News reporter Ria Soko has the story.
Angkor Wat is at the top, followed by Phnom Penh in number 20 and Sihanoukville at the 28. These are 3 areas in Cambodia that were included in the 29 best places to visit in Southeast Asia, surveyed by Touropia travel guides. The Angkor Wat, located in the northern part of Cambodia, is being praised for its archaeological sites. Touropia Travel says that travelers should not miss Angkor. It contains some of the world's most important cultural remains. These include the enormous Angkor Wat Temple, the Bayon Temple, with its multitude of massive stone faces, and Thap Rom, a Buddhist temple ruin entwined with towering trees. It's not the first time that Cambodia has been acknowledged for being one of the best tourist destinations. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
After more than a year of missing buzz, Siem Reap's dynamic province is expected to return next month. It will start with hosting the first Angkor International Festival of the Arts. Cambodian Arts and Festival Enterprises says the event will take place in December 2021 in a variety of venues in Siem Reap Province and Phnom Penh capital. EAC News reporter Liwanto Mohammed has the details.
The 4/7 event, Angkor International Festival of Art, is scheduled for the 10th to the 12th of December. The festival organizer, responded by Cambodia Art Festival Enterprise, has collaborated with the Ministry of Culture and Fine Art to celebrate it designated for Siem Reap as Asian City of Culture 2021-2022. Angkor Wat International Festival of Art Chief Executive Officer and Artistic Director Aaron Carpen say they have worked in this event over 1 year. He has added that Cambodia taking over the Asian chair and the country is opening. They believe that this is fitting tribute for Cambodian culture, heritage, and local artistic scene at the time when Cambodia has much to offer when it comes to art and culture. Angkor Wat International Festival of Art 2021, which including performance and contribution from various artists, which include music, painting, writing, and dancing. There will also be writers, readers, festival hubs, as well as traditional Cambodian can flighting in front of Angkor Wat, shadow puppet theaters, Cambodia buko fighter, traditional chapai music, and aspara dancers. Carpen say Angkor Wat International Festival of Art 2021 will be celebrated for all, classical and modern. Lianto Mohammed, EAC News.
There is a saying, when you aim high, you reach high. That's how Johnny Chern overcame his difficulties as an orphan boy dreaming to be a pilot and starting producing his own radio-controlled aircrafts. The airplane models being shown on his Facebook page, Comneat, which means idea in Khmer. The inventor is now looking for investors to expand his product and achieve markets overseas. EAC News had the opportunity to interview Johnny Chern and knowing more about his love for aircrafts. Johnny Chern is an entrepreneur with a strong vision and perseverance. He can produce 100 radio-controlled aircraft a month with the help of just one extra person. But opening a production business with technological features, such as a remote-controlled airplane, is a challenge that only a visionary is committed to overcome. Johnny shared his stories with EAC News, talking more about his long-time dream to be a pilot.
Since I was small, I really like aircraft because I have a dream that I want to become a pilot. So from that point, I have a vision that someday I can be a pilot. But unfortunately, I'm an orphan, so I don't have ability to go to school, go to a school of aeronautical pilot training. So because I live in orphanage, that's why I try to do something to improve myself and to study about airplane and to learn about airplane. I've been spending my time for 15 years until I knows how to making aircraft. Because there was an Australian guy, he went to my orphanage and he asked me about my dream. So I told him that I love airplanes and I want to build airplane. And when he back to his country and he sent me books about making aircraft. And from that time, I learned how to make aircraft. But it's very difficult because the mathematics is very hard for me to solve the problems. Also the physics. But when I finish, I graduate high school, and that time I know how to make aircraft. But it's not success yet because I need some money for doing the research, for applying to real practical.
Johnny used to have an investor and a team working with him, facilitating the production and test runs of even big aircrafts. However, COVID-19 pandemic affected the income and teamwork of Comneat. Now, Johnny is focusing in the production of two kinds of airplane model.
We have two types of this aircraft. One is a throwable aircraft. It means that the plane that fly without using a machine, with no remote, just throw, it could glide for 45 meters. And that's cheap airplane for everyone can play. And now we update our airplane into next version that can remote for 100 meter distance and also 100 meters altitude. For selling, I think it's not a big problem for us, but the problem is production, because I need to make it into production that could produce it fast and make it to become a good packaging, and also about to find a marketplace into overseas.
The price range of the throwable aircrafts are between $5 and $15 depending on the model, while the radio-controlled aircrafts are costing $30 or more. He hopes Communite's success in the future can be a proof that everyone is capable of achieving his dream if they fight for it.
I wish that I could make this product into the market, to not even though the domestic market, but it goes to global market, and everyone can play this airplane to inspire many kids that with this product that will tell them that with a dream, if they have a dream, they must fight for their dreams. So this airplane is not just to entertain, but it's also to remind them about my story.
The COVID-19 pandemic has affected the travel industry, with less airplanes flying into the kingdom. But now, with the country set to reopen and the economy slowly recovering, the expectation is that big airplanes and small airplanes like this one has a space in the Cambodian sky. The neighboring countries Cambodia and Vietnam are not only close by location, but also when it comes to their relation. During the 11th meeting on the cooperation and development between border provinces of Vietnam and Cambodia last week, the two agreed to continue performing a close coordination to maintain friendship, peace, stability, and sustainable development. EAC News reporter Ria Soko has the story.
Cambodian Minister of Interior Sar King and Vietnamese Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Pham Binh Minh co-chaired the event that was held virtually. They shared views on the impacts of COVID-19 in the two countries while reassuring to maintain bilateral ties. Cambodia has been providing aid to Vietnam's COVID-19. The latest was made last Friday at Muk Bai International Border Checkpoint in Suai Ring Province. Cambodia has delivered 200,000 doses of vaccine. It was not Cambodia's first to provide assistance to Vietnam's COVID-19 fight. During the coordination meeting last week, it was highlighted that the cooperation between central agencies and local authorities of Vietnamese and Cambodian border provinces over the past time has been a remarkable achievement, particularly in land border demarcation and marker planting, border and border gate management, as well as protecting security and order in border areas. The two sides agreed to further raise the efficiency of coordination in responding to COVID-19 and were resolved to maintain the bilateral trade growth. The 12th meeting is scheduled to be held in Vietnam next year. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
Cambodia's daily COVID-19 keeps decreasing as the country has already started to reopen. For the fourth consecutive day, cases remain below 100. Today has lower numbers than Tuesday, with only 85 new cases recorded. That includes 9 imported cases. Cambodia has now a total tally of COVID-19 at 118,787. Once again, recoveries outpaced the number of cases. 94 patients were declared cured from COVID-19 overnight. They make the total recovery to 115,111, although there are still deaths being recorded. 7 people did not survive, 5 of them unvaccinated. Cambodia's total deaths since the beginning of the pandemic now stands at 2,807. The kingdom's active cases are now down to 862. No more facial recognition in Facebook. Facebook Incorporated has announced on Tuesday that it is shutting down its facial recognition system. This system automatically identifies users in photos and videos, citing growing societal concerns about the uses of such technology. The removal of face recognition by the comes as the world's largest social media platforms face a reckoning over the past few years over the ethics of using the technology. EAC News reporter Ria Soko has more.
Different reports say facial recognition technology could compromise privacy, targeting marginalized groups and normalize intrusive surveillance. It is popular in many industries and businesses for security purposes. The news comes as Facebook has been under intense scrutiny from regulators and lawmakers over safety and a wide range of abuses on its platforms. Vice President of Artificial Intelligence at Facebook, Jerome Picenti, has released a statement saying regulators are still in the process of providing a clear set of rules governing its use. The social media company, which last week renamed itself to Meta Platforms Incorporated, says more than 1/3 of Facebook's daily active users have opted into the face recognition setting on the social media site, and that change will now delete the facial recognition templates of more than 1 billion people. Accordingly, the removal will roll out globally and is expected to be completed by December. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
Now for a look at news making international headlines this Wednesday, 3 of November.
At least 25 people were killed and more than 50 wounded in an attack on Afghanistan's biggest military hospital on Tuesday, which saw 2 heavy blasts followed up by gunmen assaulting the site in central Kabul. Among the injured was a young boy who was carried on a stretcher to the Italian aid group emergency hospital in Kabul. The explosions hit the entrance of the 400-bed Sadar Muhammad Daud Khan Hospital and were followed with an assault by a group of Islamic State gunmen, all of whom were killed within 15 minutes, Taliban spokesman Sahibullah Mujahid has confirmed. He has added that Taliban special forces dropped by helicopter had prevented the attackers from entering the hospital. All 4 were killed at the entrance or in the courtyard, and a 5th was captured.
A strong hailstorm hit Taija on Sunday, causing floods and damage across the southern Bolivian city. Hail reached as high as 4.92 feet in some places, heavily affecting private residences and businesses near Taija's commercial area. Local authorities worked nonstop to help those affected by the storm. The mayor's office reported the collection of 5,000 tons of ice from the streets. Crops around the area were reported as complete losses due to the heavy rains. Hail is one of the most feared weather phenomena because of its potential to destroy plants, trees, crops, animals, and human life upon impact if strong enough. This can have an adverse effect on the ecosystem as well as if the damage is severe.
And more than 100 global leaders have pledged on Monday to halt and reverse deforestation and land degradation by the end of the decade, underpinned by $19 billion in public and private funds to invest in protecting and restoring forests. The joint statement at the COP26 climate talks in Glasgow was backed by the leaders of countries including Brazil, Indonesia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, which collectively account for 85% of the world's forests. United Kingdom Prime Minister Boris Johnson has stated that the Glasgow Leaders' Declaration on Forest and Land Use will cover forests totaling more than 13 million square miles. The UK Prime Minister has stated that the world will have a chance to end humanity's long history as nature's conqueror and instead become its custodian. He calls it an unprecedented agreement. Some additional government and private initiatives were also launched on Tuesday to help reach that goal, including billions in pledges for indigenous guardians of the forest and sustainable agriculture. Forests absorb roughly 30% of carbon dioxide emissions, according to the nonprofit World Resources Institute. Under the agreement, 12 countries, including Britain, have pledged to provide $12 billion of public funding between 2021 and 2025 to help developing countries, including in efforts to restore degraded land and tackle wildfires.
After the break, a look at your sports news.
EAC News fully supports the Royal Government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, 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 wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. EAC News' audience is growing. Our YouTube channel has over 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube. It's given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates EAC News' hard work and incredible achievement. She says we've brought a unique voice and style to the world, but have also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to YouTube and search for EAC News. Subscribers get alerts when the Daily Roundup is premiering and live events are streaming. Get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. The EAC News channel on YouTube. Cambodia made clear. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favourite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Barcelona's Ansu Fati scored a superb second-half goal to secure a crucial 1-0 Champions League win at Dynamo Kiev on Tuesday. Barca's young prospect Fati rescued his teams in the 70th minute with a fierce volley from inside area after the home defense failed to clear Oscar Mingueza cross from the right. However, the Ukraine champions gave Barcelona a hard time in a frantic game, with both teams missing several chances.
Today was very, very busy, important, and everyone knew it. You could notice the tension with the players in the hours before the game. Just long as they enter the locker room, you see the faces change. I believe putting in the work, in following the road that leads to victory. And from this point on, we will see the faces in the next match. It helps you to work better and help the player understand the coach's message.
He has added that Fati has that thing, the scoring, that sets him apart. The win puts Barca into second place in Group E with 6 points, 2 ahead of Benfica. Leaders Bayern have qualified for the knockout stage with 12 points after beating Benfica 5-2. ATP Tour 1000 Paris Masters second round highlights with world number 1 Novak Djokovic beating Martin Fucovskis. Djokovic has been number 1 for a record total of 345 weeks and has finished as ATP year-end number 1 on a joint record 6 occasion. The Serbian ace record a 6-2, 4-6 and 6-3 victory in 2 hours to move into the third round at the Bercy Palais omnipresent.
World number 1 Novak Djokovic overcame a second-set wobble to see off Hungarian Marton Fucsovics in the second round of the Paris Masters on Tuesday, playing in his first tour match since losing the US Open final against Daniil Medvedev in September. Djokovic struggled to find his rhythm but managed to find a way as the Serb secured a 6-2, 4-6, 6-3 victory. Djokovic, who can clinch a record 7th year-end number 1 finish in the ATP rankings, should he lift the title. Next meets either of France Adrian Manarino or Gael Monfils.
Cristiano Ronaldo netted a brace as Manchester United twice fought from a goal down to draw 2-2 at Atlanta. United forced to recognize after French defender Raphael Varane went off injured. Drawing level with a superbly worked goal on the stroke of halftime, Ronaldo firing home after a flowing exchanges of passes. But the Bergamo side restored the advantage in the 60th minute when Zapata broke past Harry Maguire, burst into the box and beat De Gea.
Cristiano Ronaldo struck twice, including the stoppage time equalizing as Manchester United came under behind twice earning a 2-2 draw away from Atlanta in the Championship League on Tuesday. Atlanta took a 12-minute lead when Zapata cut in front left and Joseph Elite and the Slavic lower drive creep under the body of United keeper David Dugois.
You know, the point here tonight is very important. It's I've said if you win your home games and you get a result or two away from home, you'll go through. And the attitude to never give in was there. You cannot question the attitude. Of course, first half I thought we were a bit too sloppy. Gifted them a few too many transitions and turnovers. But the goal was excellent, the first one, and of course we did create some openings. Could have scored more. The 2 goals they had very, very tight calls for offside. I'm sure the first one should be off as he blocks David's view, and the second one is just fine margins. But so very pleased with the point.
The linesman flag was raised for offside, but after legality, WAR reviewed that the decision was overturned and the Italian side had a lead. Ronaldo then pounded on a loose ball on the edge of the box in stoppage time, blasted home a volley to earn a precious point for Ugal Gonsagu's side.
All right, now let's have a look at how the weather is going to be playing at tomorrow. And finally, conservation scientists at San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance have found that critically endangered California condors can reproduce without mating. During a routine analysis of biological samples from 2 California condors in the zoo's manager breeding program, the scientists found that 2 California condor chicks had hatched from unfertilized eggs. It came as a big surprise and a very rare discovery.
The California condor is one of the world's rarest bird species, but the population is increasing. Associate Director for the Conservation Research Division at San Diego Wildlife Alliance, Cynthia Steiner, says that it was confirmed by scientists that each condor chick was genetically related to its mother, but neither bird was genetically related to a male. Steiner also co-authored the study.
It came as a big surprise, to be honest. So we didn't expect to find any of this. It was about validating these results, because when we found this, it was more for us something that it was related with maybe errors in the way we were genotyping or getting the genetic information from these condors. It was about, redoing a lot of the genetic testing just to make sure that it wasn't really an error. And it was more about understanding the biology of birds in general. And at that point, we realized that this might be a possibility as well in the reproduction of birds. So we put all these pieces together, plus the information that we got, as I said, from all this genetic data that we have from 30 past years of collecting genetic information from California condors. We put the pieces together and it was like an eureka moment. Okay, so this is really happening.
She says it is known in other species, in reptiles and in fish, but in birds it's very rare, in particular in wild species. Steiner has added the discovery was particularly surprising because both female birds were continuously housed with fertile male partners and had already produced chicks while paired with the male. Both chicks were underweight when they hatched. One was released into the wild and died at the age of 2 in 2003, while the other survived for 8 years in captivity and died in 2017.
Thanks for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EAC News channel. For more breaking news and updates, check out our website www.eacnews.asia. You can also search for EAC News on the Telegram and in your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team tomorrow at 8. I will see you then.